DarkMatch. This is the 2012 Elimination Chamber review. I'm the match striker of DarkMatch, Mega Fighter Free.
And I'm Tifus, and I'm going second because Magpie thought I'd have something funnier to say than he would, so take it away, Magpie.
I'm Magpie, and I'm here.
You're right, I was funnier.
Exactly.
And as always, I am your foxy friend Backlash, and once again, it is time for What is Iron Sheik tweeting now? And like Raisin Balls before it, he continues with his ever so appetizing array of food-related insults. The German in the big-time intelligent Jew and the real, he not like the noodle dick Mr. Fuji.
Noodle Dick.
Noodle dick.
Noodle
Noodle
dick.
Now goes with Raisin Balls.
The
Sad
dark
thing is, it
match.
actually does sound like a legitimate food.
The dark match. Throughout our conversation, we'll always go back to dicks. Somehow.
Yep.
Anyways, we are here to talk about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Such an important pay-per-view it is, isn't it?
Yes, give your money to WWE just so you can see this.
It usually is a pretty important pay-per-view, but I don't know.
It isn't. It isn't. It depends on the
important just
performances and what they
because
put
it's there.
forth.
But it makes
It
everything
depends.
else that much less important.
Yeah.
Although I think, like, comparative to last year, like, I enjoyed last year's way better than this Elimination Chamber.
I don't remember last year's.
Last year's was pretty. You were on the show with me last year, I think, when we did this review.
I'm sure I was.
Oh God, this is how important
Excuse me.
this is how important this pay-per-view actually is. Let's document it right now so we can forget about it later.
Eh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah. I do remember last year our Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is probably still the shortest show we've done on record.
That's because we were depressed after it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, more
We
or
just
less.
watched the pay-per-view, super bummed, and then we recorded it, and we were still kind of meh.
Well, the good news is Edge was the world champion.
No, that was a cool match, but the end part of it though kind of just like dulled that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
we've danced around enough. Let's get to the actual pay-per-view. We begin the night, oddly enough, with the WWE title match in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that's not odd for this pay-per-view at all.
Well,
They
yeah, it
usually-
kind of is, because...
and that's okay, because that's pacing. That's
Well, no, usually
pick.
they start with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
and I would think in this instance, because usually I think SmackDown's a better show, but for just these two chambers comparatively, and we'll get more to the SmackDown one, but the SmackDown one should have been the opener because this was the far superior one. Like this could have been like the headliner or the main event as it should have been.
I think I can kind of understand how the SmackDown Elimination Chamber was second, because it always seems that the chamber, when the chamber gets damaged, that has to be the second match, understandably so. And when and with what they did with the SmackDown Chamber, we'll get to that. Yeah, it kind of makes sense that they went second, but still,
And also with the Royal Rumble winners announcing who he's going to face.
yeah. Yeah, but we're jumping the gun. Anyways, let's talk about the first chamber match.
Can't say I hated it. I honestly can't say I hated it.
I actually liked it. I enjoyed both chamber matches very much, and outside of that, it kind of goes downhill from there really quickly.
Yeah.
I like the opening of it when Kofi and Punk did that exchange, and it made Kofi look really good, and Punk did some selling to make Kofi look good.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were both very good psychology-wise, is pretty much my thing.
Yeah, and I like moments like this where a champion will just be like, okay, I'm going to make this guy look good. He's up and coming. We need to get him on the main event. So let's have this moment where he just really gets to shine. Forget everyone else in the chamber. We're going to have Kofi, Punk. It's just going to be these two guys that are going to be the focal point. And it's good that Kofi started it out because it really you got to see him as an independent role rather than Kofi's doing something wild while six guys are in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he really did need that. He needs a chance to shine, but at the same time, he really needs to work on his mic skills before they give him that chance.
No, he can work on the mic, but yeah, he needs to be refined a little more. Like
if they give him the mic too much as he is right now while he's shining in the ring on his own, it's going to hurt him in the long run.
Just little increments, though. Like, you want to have him do some live stuff, but you don't want to give him something too heavy. You know, you just want to give him something that gives him an excuse to talk so he can hone his craft.
Yeah, he could be a good mic worker, but he's not there yet. But yeah,
it's enough time to show some personality and get the fuck out of there. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this match.
Yeah, the match was very good. Punk and Kofi have a good exchange, and the first person to enter is Dolph Ziggler, and Ziggler got the
Oh,
crap
wait,
kicked
wait,
out of
wait
him.
going back though. Before the match started, when Punk came out, he went around to each corner and stood in the corner and posed down and kind of mocked whoever was in the cage and each pod in a different way.
Mm.
Well, that's
which is a total awesome Punk thing to do. And champion, where you're like, okay, you want to face me? I'm the guy you have to get through to get this. Remember that. Forget the chamber. I'm the guy you have to beat.
Yeah. So yeah, Ziggler enters in, and Ziggler got the shit kicked out of him in this match because he took the spot of going over the ropes onto the floor like 6 times
Yeah.
in this match.
And he
Yeah.
sold it like a champ. Like we always give, everyone gives Ziggler the compliments of being an excellent seller in the ring, and he deservingly so gets that. So to see him like sell that and scream, it's like every time he hit that dude, he's gonna like scream bloody murder.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like that's
have to-
another $100 raise on my next contract signing. That's another $100 raise on my next contract signing.
Yeah. He gets thrown over. Okay, I want to get paid to sponsor a toy. Ow.
So yeah,
Man, that'll look it on my 3-disc DVD set coming out in 3 years.
Yeah, and he even does the funny spot where he's just like, "Oh wait, I have him down. I'm gonna do some crunches and kick the guy."
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. Where he just shows off.
He's great. He's got wonderful charisma.
oh
And this
god,
is
yeah.
the one thing I really liked about this elimination chamber. It's just you had the guys in there that were really that were the main event scene right now, and you had 2 guys in there that are still just like begrudgingly getting there, like with Ziggler and Kofi. So seeing him in this match and get to shine like that, it's like it's good for. I look at it as a good thing because it's like, oh, I hope they get to that next point, especially Ziggler.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Of course, then again, last year I said Morrison was going to be the champion on this very review, and look how wrong I was.
Yeah.
We were all wrong about Morrison. Seriously, Iron Bite is the kiss
Did
of
they make a
death.
DVD box set for him too?
I don't know, did they?
I thought they were.
Yeah, they did. They did. I don't think it was one of those long ones like the Chris Jericho ones, but he got a DVD. And
But
then
anyway,
after Ziggler comes out, then
R-Truth is the next one, and just like last year, R-Truth is very quickly eliminated.
mm,
Like he comes out, he hits his spots, and then he just gets out. And
just
that's
right
kind of
away, it's
sad.
like,
That's kind of sad when you think about it.
Well, I think this year has more to do with the fact that he was injured when Miz didn't catch him a couple weeks ago.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he was clear to wrestle, but they didn't want to take too much of a risk with him.
but
Even
and
then,
that totally makes sense. Oh, go right ahead, Megan.
Even right now, he's more valuable on the mic than he is in the ring, I think.
even then, Truth did a pretty good job, all things considered.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, although if rebooking, like I would have had, I understand they had to eliminate him because of the head thing, and they don't want him too much bumps, but
And they
I
got
don't-
to eliminate someone.
yeah, but I would have eliminated Miz first. Nothing against the Miz, but I just think like let's let Truth get this little revenge on there, and let's set up for the next match, whatever we have that,
Yeah.
Yeah, but R-Truth gets eliminated fairly quickly, and next is Miz, and it's kind of dumb what they did because we all knew that Jericho had won the right to enter last, and yet they still do that overhead camera thing where they're flashing the lights in the pods like, oh, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's going to be Miz. We know.
Yeah.
I really can't have that excitement anymore when you had that stipulation in the previous Raw.
Yeah.
God,
Eh,
that Raw.
Miz was not really that impressive in this match. Like, I
He
don't
wasn't.
remember anything he did.
Yeah, he hasn't been impressive lately at all. It seems like he and Truth could have been doing a whole lot more than they have been doing.
Well, I think
If you look at some of the rumor sheets too, along with a lot of the locker room, him specifically though, he's just not acting like he's hungry anymore. From what people are saying.
Yeah.
And
So,
I don't know what
that's disappointing for me because he's one of my favorites. The whole the Ohio boy there.
Yeah.
So
And I never hated
I'm disappointed. I loved his role.
And I'm disappointed too. I never fully hated the Miz. Like when I critiqued him about work rate or things like that, it wasn't so much that he never could pull off the moves or anything like that. It was like I wanted to see him do more, and I knew he really tried to be at the WWE, so I didn't have any problems with him getting there. But when you lose that drive, it's like I don't really have the hunger anymore, and it could be BS. We don't know everything, but I kind of can see it in some references, especially that show I was at the last time. But it's like, don't lose that drive. That's what got you here in the first place. Just stick it out, man. And
Well,
when you lose that drive,
I don't know if it's that he's accomplished what he wanted to accomplish because he was always talking about I want to be the WWE champion. He was the WWE champion, or if or if it's that he's kind of jaded on how he was handled as champion, being the third wheel in his own title match at
Oh
WrestleMania.
yeah.
well, yeah, if it's a jaded thing, that's a dick thing to do. But it's just like what the cards are dealt with. You try to work it out the best. I mean, it's not like you got fired or you immediately got shit canned to a Drew McIntyre position or that. So, but yeah, but what you got?
He's not even down that far yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
If he keeps this up, he's going to be getting there. But then again, the focus of this match really wasn't him. He was just another body in it, just like Truth and Ziggler were in Kofi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could have been a body that added something to this, but it's just like he really didn't.
Yeah,
Because you can have bodies in the matches, but at least a body sometimes will do something that
right.
makes everything else better.
Miz needs to get his shit together.
No.
Yeah, get his
And-
shit together, or maybe just head to an indie area. Maybe go to Ring of Honor or something. I don't know.
Mm,
Just not TNA, Miz. Understand that.
He needs to
Dude,
change
Miz-
up his needs to do.
Miz is smart enough not to go into TNA, and that's not even just on the wrestling fan. That's just like if he's looking at it as a lucrative businessman, he knows to stay away from that.
He needs a fire lit under his ass is what he needs. Anyway,
yeah. Miz and Punk go back and forth for a while, and what happens next is Punk gets Miz in the Anaconda Vice, and basically in the chamber, submissions are pretty lethal because there's no rope break. But then Jericho comes out of his pod, and Punk breaks the hold. Now I know that like these guys are gunning for each other, but why would you break the hold?
Yeah, I just think it was the gun. I see your predicament on there, but I'm just looking more towards the gunning towards thing. Or even if that, maybe Punk's like, I've choked him out plenty of times. I'm gonna kick your ass for the first time right now.
well, did Jericho come towards him, or did he go after Jericho before Jericho
Like
had a
no,
chance?
like the buzzer rang and Punk jumped up.
Uh,
I
that's yeah.
I guess he figured is that Miz was pretty much weakened enough by the hold that he wasn't a factor, so he had
That
to
still
focus
doesn't
on.
it still doesn't make sense. Finish him off.
Hmm.
Finish him. That's one less person you have to worry about why you go after Jericho.
Yeah, but
Mm,
You're one person closer to retaining your title.
Hmm.
And no one's gonna break that hold for Miz because that's one less person between them and winning the title.
and when you think about it, it's like, oh, just a little bit more pressure, and he's gonna tap, and there's no rope break. All right, I'll choke him. Just let me
Yeah.
wrench this a little tighter.
I guess.
So yeah, Jericho comes in and he's very good in this match. Like he hits the code breaker on Ziggler and manages to eliminate him,
Yeah, he actually gets a pin off of Codebreaker.
which I think that's the second time in a row that's happened. Wow, Codebreaker is moving up in the list of signature moves.
Yeah,
Hmm.
whether if he hits it with one knee or two knees,
Well, it is a good move.
it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I'm just a little.
Taking a couple
I
of
don't want
knees
to
to
sound
the face. Yeah.
I'm just a little
I
super
don't-
jaded on the move a bit. I'm just,
I don't see how you can not get your bell rung from that move, even if you're protected.
Hmm.
But
And, and
yeah,
then
so,
Jericho starts focusing on Kofi, and he puts him in like the old school walls of Jericho, like the move he was
the lion
using-
tamer.
Yeah, the lion tamer, and he manages to tap him out to that, and Kofi taps out. He doesn't release the hold. He's just like, am I gonna let you go? No, I'm gonna put you in the walls of Jericho, and just holds.
And I love it when heels have submission moves and they just do dick things like that. I wish Danielson was doing things where he's just like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let you go. No, I'm evil. Remember? I'm
well,
evil."
Danielson's trying to be a more subtle heel in
Yeah.
ways.
But then we
So.
get a really awkward part in this match because Jericho he keeps working on Kofi and then starts to drag him out of the chamber. He throws him out the door. He's like, get this trash out of my ring. And then Punk comes up behind him and kicks him square in the head. And then I don't really know what happens. Jericho falls into a cameraman and he's dead.
He
Yeah,
gets a Muay Thai
he gets
kick from
kicked in the
Punk.
head. His head hits the camera, and his head hits the floor. So it's like 3 head hits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this was a last minute addition to the storyline.
Was this a work?
It was a
Yeah.
work. It was a
Mhm.
work. I wouldn't call it a
That-
last minute addition. That's how the match was booked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that way it's just like, oh, they actually never touched each other, so it just makes the demand more and more and more for the
Yeah.
WrestleMania match.
Yeah. So
Which
that's what they're
executed this way, the
that's
best way to do it.
that's what they're using to fuel the whole. He's got a legitimate claim to a title match now. Is that he never lost the Elimination Chamber.
Mm.
Yeah.
He was never.
Even though like just saying, I want that belt, no, I want that belt, fight it out at WrestleMania would make sense, but you have to have a story. This is the best way to do it.
It's. I think it's better this way. That adds more to it. There's more
Yeah.
story here.
For me, it's like you can use a story, and as a story as well, which this is, I don't have a problem, but I just don't mind the basics where it's just back in the day where it's like, okay, you have belt, I want belt, let's fight.
Yeah, but that's how most of the world title feuds go. So I mean, you add more to it. There's more depth. There's more claim to this, more claim to that.
Yeah, but the thing again, story I don't have a problem with if it's fitting. It's just like I like it when it's about the belt, but that's just me.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this. Like a lot of people kind of rag on Elimination Chamber. Like, if it's going to be used in any way, this is the way to do it. Like have a guy in a match like this and say, "Oh, I didn't get my fair shot. I will see you at WrestleMania."
Yeah.
It's building to something. That's really
And
what
there's a lot of
Elimination
ways
Chamber
to go
should be.
about doing that too. There's heelish ways to go about that. There's face ways to go about that. They actually gave Jericho one of the face ways to go about that. He never got to finish the match. Versus, say, like if Daniel Bryan had. Well, I won't spoil that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
But
the rest of
there's
this
a
match
perfect.
is the rest of the match is just Miz and CM Punk, and eh.
Mm.
Like the only noteworthy thing is after Punk kicks out of the skull crushing finale, Miz throws him into the corner and he just loses his shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Just goes.
eventually, he takes the GTS and Punk wins.
Yep.
Mm.
It's a good match.
yeah,
Yeah.
Punk won. I mean,
Good
the one thing
psychology. I mean, we kind of breezed through it pretty quickly, but if you want to if you want to know what happened in the match, go watch the pay per view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're just commentators.
Yeah,
YouTube that shit, man.
we're just reviewing this shit. We're not.
Although I will say, just for like this recent title reign of CM Punk, I'm liking it for the basic reasons of like I like a good champion in that they defend it and they win matches, big
Mm.
matches, little matches, they win them. And this is just gonna add on to like the prestige of like, wow, remember when Punk was the champion? That was awesome because
Yeah.
he did this and beat these guys and was able to survive the chamber and things like that. Doing things like this only makes your champion better.
Yep.
Making matches memorable.
Exactly.
Not this is memorable, but make your champion memorable. You always want to make your match memorable, but if you're gonna give a guy the belt, you got to make him. You got to show why he's the guy.
Well, make every moment significant in the feud.
That too, yeah.
And they did that tonight. That night, anyway.
Mhm.
Anyway, moving on to the pay per view losing steam.
Eh. Well, a lot of people were hard on this, but I honestly thought that the payoff to this was pretty good in the chamber match, the SmackDown chamber match, but
Oh yeah.
these spots were kind of silly. Like I know Santino, he's a goofy character and they do shit like this, but really it's just kind of
It was out
it's
of
just
place.
yeah, because we've got Santino backstage and they're playing what I'm sure WWE thought was Rocky like music that they had in their music library, but it's it's the music they used for Eugene.
It was.
Uh,
Oh
yeah.
my god!
And that's really not anything you want associated with a title match. Unless it's a throwaway title match on one of the regular weekly shows just to get the champion over. And so it kind of bothered me. I mean, and they had so much filler on this pay per view. They could have easily
Yeah.
added another two matches,
Yeah,
which we'll get to later.
yeah. All the segment
But
is Santino attempts to drink raw eggs and they make him throw up.
yeah,
Whoopee.
Yeah.
And then we get more
Whoopee,
filler.
yeah.
There's absolutely no point to this other than it's John Cena and he's at the WWE developmental gym where all the guys in FCW train, and they just talk about the gym like oh this is where you have to push it hard and all the stuff like that. Pointless.
John
I
Cena's a
don't.
really good guy. This is where you pump it.
Oh, the highlight of this segment, if there was one, was the guy named Leaky.
Dude, all their names are kind of ridiculous. Like Bobby. Come on.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know his pronunciation was Leaki or whatever, but
It's leaky.
yeah, the way it's spelled out, it's leaky.
It's
Guys,
leaky.
at least we got to see Consequences Creed back on TV.
Hmm.
What gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? Consequences Creed.
Oh, and Seth fuck it, he's Tyler Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who cares about them? They're just an FCW.
Oh yeah, they won't contribute anything. We can't add them to our U.S. title division or like let's say contenders for an IC belt. Yeah, let's keep them there.
Or hey, let's bring back the cruiserweight title. That'd be a good idea.
Eh.
Oh yeah, it's not like we have the
Yeah, but they'd have
talent.
to fight it off Hornswoggle.
Oh God, and we'll get
Yeah.
to
Damn it!
Hornswoggle later.
Unlike the hardcore title, they kind of buried that one on its way out.
They did. That title used to be. God, I used to love the fucking cruiserweight division. And thanks, Mega, you dick. You had to remind me about when it officially died. Oh my! I suppressed that memory successfully. Now it's come rushing back.
Well,
It had 6 title holders. Funaki. Everybody who held that title was pretty cool. And then that asshole is the one that wins it. That little son of a bitch gets to pin Jamie Noble. A far superior. I'm not gonna get on that rant. You know where I'm
Keep in
going.
mind, this is the same guy that has had, let's see, the likes of Chavo Guerrero, Carlito, Chris Masters, Jack Swagger. How many people have jobbed to Hornswoggle?
I don't know.
Heath
Those
Slater, but
people.
he jobs to everyone.
Tyson Kidd.
I don't know, but the jobbing I don't mind, but the belt. Oh god, that
Hey,
belt.
Magpie. Hornswoggle's
What?
on this show, remember?
Yeah, he
Oh
is.
yeah, I'll get to that. At least I have something I can make fun of it with.
Yeah. But hey, here's something that'll make you feel better. A Divas match that's legitimately good.
Yep, this is
Oh
another
yeah,
Beth
match.
Phoenix versus Tamina Snuka, and I still don't like calling her that for some reason.
But real quickly though, about that last segment with the FCW guys, that is a good way to put over FCW and the guys you're training there. Feature them a little bit here and there. But
yeah. Too bad they couldn't have a show, let's say, online that was just dedicated to the FCW guys, and we got to see them in matches that kind of got them out there to the WWE audience, and then eventually transition those wrestlers on that show to the main event roster and live shows, of course. But they don't have any outlet for that, do they?
well, there's NXT.
Yeah, but that doesn't really do that anymore.
Oh, that's the joke.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, this was a very good match. In fact, I'd like to say that this should be the benchmark for all Divas matches to be judged against.
Mm.
Well, at least in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah, amongst this roster, pretty much.
Hmm.
I mean, even with the talent here, we're still a far cry away from having Trish and Lita have a hardcore title match as the main event of Raw.
Uh, I didn't get to see the match, so I can't really say anything. Although I do like Beth Phoenix, and
Oh, you
Tamina's
missed
not
a
that
treat.
bad.
It was a good match, and they actually let them go for a little bit there too. It was not a quick
Awesome.
match at all.
Good. If you have 2 talented women in there, I support that. Give them all the time they need, as long as they can make it
They,
worthwhile
they,
and
they,
great.
they went back and forth a few times. Beth Phoenix was wearing kind of a plaid homage to Roddy Piper, kind of tying back into the history there. So it was pretty neat.
Right on.
And Tamina was wearing, her usual tiger stripe kind of top thing. So homage to her dad.
Yeah, and hopefully this match, if I didn't get to see it, but one thing I'd like to get out of this match is like, if you can get a performance like this, which you can out of Tamina and Beth Phoenix, it'll get people jazzed up again. And by the time you bring Karma back, that match will actually mean something, and Beth will be a credible champion again instead of somebody gets rolled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about this match is that Tamina nails the Superfly splash, but Beth kicks out and then immediately hits her finisher on it, the glam slam on Tamina for the pin.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that I mean, I'm not going to call it a squash match, but that one little the ending specifically kind of buried Tamina.
And you can justify it by getting out of things like that. Like, say if Tamina had like a different finisher and she hit the splash, didn't get the 3 counts, so she's like, what? So she keeps hammering on Beth, probably gets her up and going for another finisher. but Beth reverses that and then gets a glam slam. Like, you could justify getting out of that when you do that, but when you have only one finisher, it kind of limits you to that. And as Tifa said, it just makes it pointless. If they would have done that type of transition, as I said, would have made more sense to have that there, or at least be able to get out of it.
Yeah.
Give a little bit of transition period between finishers.
Yeah, transition. You said it way better. There you go.
So
could have used more time. Really, that would have helped.
I mean, it's not really hard to believe that a champion could I'm strong enough as a champion to really kick out of the move. So I can see her kicking out, but if they did a transition, it would have been less stupid.
Well, I think that Tamina was kind of rushed into this kind of main Divas event feud, at least. Like, she probably should have been built up a little more, because up until this feud, what has she been doing? Nothing. Yeah, she's got the Superfly Splash, but yeah, they probably should have fleshed out her moveset a bit more.
She's been squashing Natalya. As far as
everyone's been squashing Natalya.
Yeah, so.
And Pepto-Bismol could squash Natalya right now.
But
we'll get to that.
Yeah, but yeah, Beth Phoenix wins with the glam slam, and they're probably setting up for a match with her against Karma at WrestleMania, which will be awesome.
Which makes this a throwaway month for the Divas division.
Maybe, but
as long as Beth is kicking the tar out of fitness models, I'm happy.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. Way to do it stupid.
It's a throwaway, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna bring Karma back, who is an awesome performer, to challenge Beth, who is an awesome performer, have Beth start kicking ass again if you really want to reinvest and make this credible and people to buy it. That's the only way you can really make people that jazzed to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still gonna be jazzed, but your general fan base speaking.
Well, I think it's clear once again that they do not have anyone writing for the Divas that knows how to write for the Divas. And
give me the job. I can do it.
Well, it's not only that, but they really don't care to focus on the Divas that much.
Yeah, that too. But
give him the job. He cares.
Yeah.
So if only we had a wider fan base, I could make a great Twitter joke about that. Oh, get me hired, bug WWE. But no.
You don't even have Twitter.
I don't, for a reason. Moving on.
All right. Anyways,
now you'll never get hired.
Anyways, we get a Be a Star video, and we get another vignette for Santino.
I wonder when Melissa from the Be a Star campaign is going to debut.
And then we have...
That's the funniest thing to me, because they have David Arquette, Be a Star member and actor. John Cena, Be a Star member and wrestler, and all these people that are something famous and a Be a Star member. And there's Melissa with no last name, Be a Star member, and that's
I think it was Melissa Farman. So.
Well, still, it's just who the fuck is this person, and why is she talking to me?
Well, she's Be a Star.
Divas, do you actually care, or are you just getting, or is your ADD taking hold of you again?
I'm just saying, the Be a Star stuff is just kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And that's something that I did notice last night that kind of made me laugh. Significant person here, significant person there. Melissa.
I barely paid attention to the Be a Star video, so I don't even remember her.
It just makes me wonder, who is Melissa? Does she have a degree? Does she have a regular job, or is this her job?
Is she a cheerleader?
Shut up, Mega. Shut up, Mega.
We told you not to do this stuff before the show started.
Come on, that was a good reference.
New stuff.
I'll give that to him. That was a good reference.
All right. But moving on, we have Josh Matthews backstage, and they're trying to get a word with Chris Jericho, but he's still being looked at by trainers. And then we get the most pointless segment possibly ever. Because we have John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace motherfuckers, coming out to the ring.
Big Johnny.
I haven't used that name for him in a while.
And basically, he just cuts a promo on Teddy Long saying, he should not be in charge of SmackDown anymore. I want his job. And then we get Alberto Del Rio making his exciting return. Or it would be exciting if he did something.
In a brand new car.
That was a beautiful car, though.
It was.
Classic.
Yeah, very nice.
And...
Sorry.
But Alberto Del Rio comes out and starts slobbing on Johnny's knob, saying, "Oh, you're so great as a GM. You should have both GM jobs."
And then I guess Mark Henry smelled pancakes in the ring because he decides to come out too. And because Laurinaitis is in the ring, he starts kissing up to him as well.
More like you smelled Johnny Ace's maple sausage.
Hey-o!
And then Christian smells maple syrup and comes to the ring.
Lubricant?
Yeah,
What?
Christian. He's back too.
It's just a big Johnny Ace love fest.
And you think that someone's going to come out and cut a promo against them, like saying, "Oh, you guys, like whatever, like have Teddy Long
Someone
come out and say,
comes
"Let
out and
me
just
holler
says,
at you,
"Shut
player.
up."
You're going to have to face Randy Orton and the Undertaker."
Yeah.
But no, it just ends with David Otunga taking a picture of everyone, and then they just leave. Segment over. I mean, like, what
Yeah.
a lackluster way to bring back two guys who haven't been on TV in a while, and Mark Henry, who I don't care about.
It's just like, is this really the place to start this thing, or could you have waited till Friday and had Johnny Ace come out and interrupt Teddy Long and run him down to his face and say, "I'm gunning for your job"?
And then my lifelong dream of seeing Teddy Long bitch slap Johnny Ace Laurinaitis and David Otunga in one full swing will come true.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
That's my lifelong dream. I want to see David Otunga. I want to see Teddy Long bitch slap David Otunga and Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Mm.
But moving on from this promo, we get another segment with Santino.
With no real punchline to it.
And then we have Josh Matthews interviewing the Big Show, who was Big Show drunk when he did this interview? Because he kept
No,
stumbling over his lines.
I think he
That
was
was
trying
natural fumbling.
I think he was trying to figure out who Melissa was, just like me. But yeah, so all of that. And by the way, that Johnny Ace promo took well over 10 minutes. It was about as long as the Divas match.
Yeah.
And it was everything you thought it would be and more with a 10-minute Johnny Ace promo.
Yep.
And following this, we should be getting the John Cena versus Kane ambulance match, but no, we have to save that for the main event because that's what we're supposed to care about eventually. And I'll have more to say about this when we get to it. But
John Cena's the man.
up next is the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. And you know what?
Match of the night.
I kind of have to apologize because like a lot of other people here at DarkMatch, I was expecting this match to suck, but it didn't. It really didn't.
Nope. This match is great.
Can't say I hated it, but I am irritated about the missed opportunities of things. But good match.
Yeah. Good match.
I don't know what you're talking about with missed opportunities because they did a lot of shit I did not expect them to do.
Oh well, here's a missed opportunity. Booking anyone else other than fucking Kali in the match. Booking.
Wow.
Well, no,
No.
he's actually kind of right
because
because even if you're going to book Collie in a match, do something with him.
he's just there to get a pop from the Indian market. That's it.
Oh yes, let's weigh down the quality of our match or make it less entertaining of a spectacle just because we have to cater some assholes to give us money.
Yeah, that's how business works, Magpie.
I know. I know.
Yeah, but yeah, Collie was basically the R-Truth of this match. Like he came in, he did his spots, and then got eliminated.
Yeah, well, at least they got him out of there quickly.
This is the merciful thing though, but I just keep thinking back to like they couldn't have Orton like punt this dude in the head and get someone else. Like I have no problem with Santino. You're not gonna hear me complain about Santino being in this match.
I heard a lot of people complaining about Santino before the match.
I did
but then
too.
he was in the match, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, the problem is that a lot of people seem to forget that even though every time he's on screen, Santino's doing something stupid, he can wrestle. He's a good worker.
Oh, he is like if they had him in a serious role instead, he'd be a main eventer.
I'd
And
say he improved his skills enough to do that.
last year he was one person away from being in the main event at WrestleMania. This year he came that close again. So I mean,
Wow, maybe he might be the surprise world title win of this year.
No, he won't be. He's their comedy worker, but yeah, that's still an
Well, just
important.
as one of those moments where he's like, "Oh, I got the belt, cheer!" And then the next night somebody beats the tar out of him and gets the belt or something.
In like a Mick Foley kind of title reign.
So yeah, transitional, but yeah.
I find it interesting that you reference Mick Foley there because he, Santino has a Mick Foley spot in this match.
Yeah, he does.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Mainly, the only noteworthy thing to talk about is Big Show and Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan is the last person to exit his pod in the chamber, and at several points in the match, Big Show just stops attacking people and just stares down Daniel Bryan like, "I'm going to kill you when you come out of there."
Yeah.
And eventually, he just gets fed up. He climbs up on top of the turnbuckle and starts trying to reach down into the pod. But Bryan's like, you can't reach me. You can't reach me. So Big Show just starts breaking the chains on top of the pod.
He tears the roof off the pod, pretty much.
Which is pretty damn funny.
And he climbs into the pod with Daniel Bryan and just starts beating
A
the crap out of him.
7-foot tall, 500-pound man climbing on top of an 8-foot tall pod, tearing the roof out and sliding down into it with another 200-pound man in there, and just starts wailing on him.
It's like that. It's like that video of the bear who gets in the small car, man.
So yeah, he
It
just
was, it was
he beats the
wrap your
crap out of
mind around
Bryan.
that image.
Yeah, he beats the crap out of Bryan until the buzzer rings and Bryan tries to run out of the pod. But Big Show just grabs him and throws him back through the bulletproof glass.
Yeah, bulletproof. Okay. I drove around in bulletproof vehicles. Yeah, that plastic is not thick enough to be bulletproof glass by a
Like,
long shot.
Yeah,
like,
if the bullets were Nerf darts, maybe.
like there exists like they're trying to pass it off that like it's Lexan, but no, that's not Lexan. That shit's
No, it's not.
expensive. They're not gonna
What if
do that.
what if it's like in the WWE universe, like the actual WWE universe, not the fans? That's the hardest substance known to man in the actual WWE universe.
Acrylic plastic is the hardest substance known to man.
I didn't say it makes sense. I just said that's how their universe functions.
Very strange universe.
Hey, they got midgets. They got a level of hell under a ring and a midget court under level of hell. Or how does that schematic work? Let's not question the acrylic. Let's just take what we hear and just with a grain of salt and move on.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying there's a way to sell it so it sounds good and a way to sell it so you're just like, you're making people go, really? That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I gotta say though, just we didn't talk about this, but I really liked Cody Rhodes in this match. Just like especially how he eliminated the Big Show, which
Oh
we're
god,
actually
Cody and Barrett were fucking phenomenal in this match.
yeah.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
Barrett too. I mean, that guy really improved for this one. And Cody, I always liked him, especially how he eliminated the Big Show. Because Cody, I always liked as he was this smart, not the smart heel per se, but he was that heel that would never give you a moment to like breathe. He would always be on you, and he would put a move, or he never gave you time to rest or anything like that. He was on you, and he definitely did that when he scoped
The
up
two
Big
of them
Show.
cooperated to take Big Show out. They were like one on him until he gets tired, and then darts away, and the next one darts in, and they just switch off like that and wear Big Show down, just like
And
that
then
match they had a couple weeks ago.
And then to finish it off, he does the first kick on the ropes, gets him woozy, and then kicks him off the chain. Fucking
Yeah.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
that dude.
And then Barrett ties him up in the ropes.
Oh yeah.
Kicks him.
It was a great
was good.
spot.
Yeah.
But following eliminating Big Show, Santino rolls up Cody and manages to eliminate him, and Cody responds by hitting Crossroads on Santino.
And Barrett pins him.
But he kicks
All right,
out.
Yep.
Actually, for the way they were telling that story, I didn't really mind it so much. I mean, the story they were telling psychology-wise, didn't mind Santino being in there.
Yeah. And you know what?
Actually, a little bit entertaining.
I would honestly not mind if we got a Santino Cody Rhodes feud, because that would be a pretty good match. Like let Santino feud for the Intercontinental title. It'll at least let Cody defend the damn belt.
Yeah. But anyway, going forward here, Barrett just goes apeshit. His hair is so messed up from how apeshit he is. He looks like Derek Bateman.
If
really
Derek
did.
Bateman was on steroids.
Yeah. Not that Wade Barrett's on steroids. They're just, ugh.
Yeah, uncomfortable moment. Anyways. So yeah, Santino how did he do it? I'm reading my results here. Uh, Basically Barrett misses uh an elbow drop off the top rope. Santino hits a headbutt and pins Barrett, and it's down to Daniel Bryan and Santino. And
Well, Santino didn't hit the headbutt. Santino didn't hit the headbutt.
oh,
And
I'm
No,
sorry,
that,
Daniel Bryan did.
it was Daniel Bryan who hit the headbutt, and Santino just grabbed the pin.
and I gotta say, this is coming from a guy that we just used to loathe Santino, and I used to make the common joke on the show where I was like, I want my dream match to be Bryan Danielson versus Santino Marella, and Bryan Danielson gets a flamethrower as a stipulation. I've always made that joke, but really watching this exchange, it was great. I really like these guys working together.
I mean,
And
they didn't even use the elimination chamber as a weapon. They stayed in the ring the entire time.
yeah,
Still
Oh,
entertaining to watch, man. And it
oh,
was like, oh yeah, go ahead.
I just remembered a spot we forgot about. Daniel Wade Barrett squeezing Daniel Bryan's head in the door.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
and he slammed
Then
Actually, that was pretty funny.
slamming.
And you know what?
squeezing his head in the door and then slamming the pod door on his head.
I mean, it's
Or
it's
yeah, his
sadistic
neck.
and cruel, but damn, it was pretty dang. Like from that element, it's like, oh, that's pretty entertaining. But
And
wrestling wise, like, ow, that hurts like hell.
you
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen
happened way back when, just before the whole series of events that saw Big Show get eliminated.
Yeah, and that's a new way to use the elimination chamber. Like we haven't seen that spot yet, I don't think.
No,
Quick correction, I meant his neck, but still, ow.
head, neck, it's gonna hurt like a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, the finish.
Have you ever experienced sympathy pains when you see someone take a shot to the balls?
Oh
Uh,
God.
I think
God, my
that's
fucking head and
it's
neck just cringe. Ugh. But yeah,
Anyways,
Right.
moving on. The finish is Santino. He has his Mick Foley spot where he was hiding the Cobra sock that he put on his arm
really,
in his
right before
tights.
that, right after Barrett's eliminated, Daniel Bryan looks around and sees that Santino's the only one left in the ring with him, and just gets a smile on his face, like he's got an idea, a wonderful idea,
Yeah, no,
an
no, he's like,
awful idea.
"You're it? Ha! This will be easy." And then Santino
Just interrupted a Grinch moment for me, you fuckface. He had a wonderfully awful idea, and you couldn't even let me get to it.
the people will thank me later.
No, they won't, because the Grinch is awesome. You
Hey
fucking
guys, let history remember this portion of the dark match. Let's get to the finish.
Yeah. So yeah, Santino hits the Cobra, and you think just for a second that he's gonna win it. 1, 2, no! Danielson kicks out,
Hmm.
and so he picks him up like he's gonna do it again, but then just locks him right into the label lock.
Yep.
And again, we get that moment where you think Santino's gonna fight out of it, but no, he goes down and eventually taps out.
And he
And
did
credit
fight.
to the
It was like, even though you're sitting there, you know it's Santino. He's not going to win the world title. He's not going to win a title shot at WrestleMania,
But
whatever.
you kind of
You know.
want him to.
and
Yeah.
that is
The way they book it, the way they have these matches go, even though you know that, you're still sitting there going, "Holy shit, he's going to do it!"
and that's the amazing part of this booking. Like I'm not a Santino, but I was just like I knew he wasn't gonna win, but it's just like holy shit, fight out of this, man. If you can get a convincing story and tell that story really well, dude, you did an excellent job, and they totally did it. I was like, shit, go the distance, get the rope, get the rope. I know he's gonna kick your head off later, but get the rope, man.
How about this for a dream match? Santino versus Eric Young at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title.
Yes,
Vacant World Heavyweight title, by the way.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, Bison. Oh, sorry, Danielson. Yes.
Okay, moving on.
well, moving on. After the match, Sheamus comes out, and it's a wordless promo pretty much because he gets in the chamber, and Danielson goes to hit him, and Sheamus just drops him and looks at the WrestleMania sign like, "I'll see you there, fella."
Yeah, he
Yep.
used the air raid crash to finish him in that moment. Do you think that's gonna be a new move from Sheamus? He's gonna start using the air raid
I
crash.
hope so. That's a good move.
It is.
It is, and Danielson knows how to take it.
Yep. And it's official, ladies and gentlemen. The match that was bumped from the WrestleMania card last year to the dark match that devolved into a massive battle royal like they have every year at WrestleMania for the dark match
Great Collie in it.
is
And I like
now the main event at WrestleMania.
I like the flashback on the two because I remember exactly we were all together watching WrestleMania, and Backlash was wondering whether or not to order it, and I was just like, "Don't order it, don't order it." He finally decided not to order it. The second he decides not to order it, that's when they're like, "Oh, U.S. title match, dark match."
And
Good.
I'm
Are
gonna
you
call
still?
it. I'm gonna call this the main event, even though I know it's not gonna be the show closer. It'll probably be third from the end of the card because Royal Rumble winner versus the title holder. So that to me makes it the main event.
Yeah. Although even though
Should.
last year they totally got rid of that and just had the first match, but hopefully this year they'll do that.
Well,
Higher
they
on the
had a
card.
legitimate reason last year.
Oh right, next. Sorry, forgot. Forgot. Remember how pissed we were about that, and then we found out, oh, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. But unfortunately, this is where the show kind of comes to a grinding halt because next we have a backstage segment, and because we're in Wisconsin, Hornswoggle's backstage wearing a cheese head, and
Eating cheese.
and he's eating cheese, and he looks over to his right. It's like, "You want to cut the cheese?" And of course, it's Natalia, and she farts, and she walks away while farting.
She's like, I swear to God, it wasn't me. And she lets out a squeaker of all things.
You know,
Okay,
Why is this on the pay-per-view?
okay. I've got to say this. I am not opposed to fart jokes. I know from firsthand experience that farting can be funny. But this is a
This is forcing
TV
it.
show, and even if a lot of your audience are kids, they're not going to find this funny.
This is
Just having
forcing it.
her randomly fart in segments is not funny. It's insulting, and I have
Having segments with her just so she can fart. So you know when you see her, oh, fart joke inbound.
and freaking
you know.
I
Sorry.
like there's so many ways to bury someone. This is beyond a burial. This
Yeah,
is
this is just stupid.
You know, when this segment was playing, I was downstairs getting myself some chocolate milk. I'm glad I didn't come back to see this.
You went to get chocolate milk and you didn't bring any back for the rest of us?
No,
Dick. Dick.
you're fired.
Fucking asshole.
Hate
you
you.
weren't even there when we were watching Magpie.
Yes, I
That
was.
doesn't
Oh,
excuse
Magpie
the
was.
point. Don't change the subject. Tiefus, keep ripping them.
No, let's move on.
Yeah, well, the segment ends with Justin Gabriel saying he comes over and is like, "Oh, I want some of that cheese," and then I guess Jack Swagger gets offended by something I don't know, and Teddy Long comes in and he's like, "Hey, you two are useless. Go have a match."
And he decides to keep it real. So
The
Teddy
way it
walks
works,
up.
it's like they have some ongoing beef with each other. And I'm sorry, but when have these two ever really crossed paths?
They don't because one's on Raw and one's on SmackDown, and I know that Raw doesn't have brand separation anymore, but they've never had a match before.
Yeah. So you get random spur of the moment U.S. title match on a pay-per-view. And damn it, every time this happens, I get pissed because they could have hyped it, they could have built up to it, could have made it mean something, but no, it's just a throwaway match. And I get it that they're trying to make it look like anything can happen anytime, even on their pay-per-views. But that is such a waste. It is fucking horrible because you're selling these people short.
Yeah.
And of course, Jack Swagger wins.
Yeah, let's not even really talk about this match because talk about two guys that had no chemistry together.
I mean, there's a reason this was shorter than the Natalia segment. Ugh.
So yeah, Jack Swagger retains the U.S. title, and nobody gives a shit.
And we get the third promo tonight featuring John Cena.
Mhm.
Ugh. And once again, it's well over 5 minutes. Or right around 5 minutes anyway.
Now,
So,
for all the stuff we just said about how bad the U.S. title match was, this was the worst match on the card.
I will say this though before we start the match. I missed I stated earlier I missed the Divas match. Wanted to see that, but I missed it because I missed it. Didn't get to watch it. This I opted not to see. I had no idea what happened in the match. Nor
Well,
do I care.
well,
Nor do I-
I'll describe it for you. It's pretty much the lamest, safest, zero psychology match I've ever seen.
I haven't
I don't
seen a
know.
match with this little psychology since Cena versus Miz at WrestleMania.
I don't know, but if it was any inkling what I saw at that previous Raw when I was there, I don't want anything to do with it in a pay per view, let alone seeing it at a live show. Christ.
the only the problem is that this match was shot in the knee before it even started because it's an ambulance match in the PG era. Like you go back to WCW or even the only other ambulance match WWE had back in like 2003, 2004, whenever the hell that happened.
Or any last ride match.
Ambulance matches are brutal. This is like, this is the kind of match you have when you want to end somebody. And I know that WCW had a lot of these throwaway matches. Vince Russo, ha ha ha. But even then, they were violent, horrible, and had way better psychology than this.
Yeah. And
This was just lame.
there was no reason for this match to end. Like, Kane was not even off his feet at the end of this. He literally got shoved. He was just standing there and he literally just got shoved into the ambulance.
And you
That's
know what?
it.
Because I don't want to talk about this match, I'm going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about why the WWE is doing this with John Cena. Back after WrestleMania 27, they booked Rock and John Cena for WrestleMania 28. This was a dumb move because WWE is an always changing environment. In the middle of the year, CM Punk gets huge for his worked shoot and becomes basically the biggest superstar in the company. Now WWE has to push him to main event status. And Punk is basically he's selling he's selling the most merchandise. He's getting all the spots on radio shows, on talk shows, and all that. He's basically the guy. Cena's still getting the ratings, but everyone wants to see Punk. Everyone wants to wear CM Punk merch. Everyone wants to see CM Punk on talk shows and all that.
Well,
And,
everyone over 15 wants to wear CM Punk
yeah,
merch.
WWE is not happy because
Because, see,
they had already booked their main event for WrestleMania.
and to be clear, Cena is still selling merch. He's still getting radio spots and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
like
But
it's not that Cena's declined. It's just that Punk is doing better than him
yeah.
because he had that huge surge like around
Yeah.
Money in the Bank.
And we still don't have our goddamn ice cream.
Yes, and now the problem is, what are they supposed to do with WrestleMania 28? They set up this whole dumb storyline to try and get the people who really like Punk to like they say, oh, we're gonna like we might be turning Cena heel. We might be saying like, oh, people don't like him and he's gonna snap. No, no, you're not. No, you're not. We're not that stupid. The ship has sailed on that. It's
Yeah.
2012. Cena, if you were going to do this at any time, the time would have been 2008.
2010, I think. But
2010, it's at least 2 years too late.
yeah.
They're
I don't
trying
know.
to convince us that they want to take Cena in a new direction, and we're not buying it. That
They, they,
I don't know.
WWE
they
just
keep
keeps.
hinting at that and then pulling it away at the last second. It's
I don't
like,
know about. I don't know about that backlash. The people who were sitting behind me at the last Raw show were pretty convinced Cena was going to be a bad guy.
Huh.
They were arguing about it throughout the entire show, what it
ah.
could imply.
And see, that's what's
Every
going to kill the whole Cena Rock match is that you're not going to have a bad guy. You're going to have two faces that are good on the microphone trying to one up each other on the microphone. And you just can't do it because one's going to try to be too edgy, one's going to try to be Boy Scout. And it's going to be two very conflicting ways of doing business that just if you've seen their the two of them in talking segments together, they just don't mix.
It's like I can understand your idea of like booking like Rock versus Cena. We want to book our big match for a big show and just hype it up throughout the entire year and doing that. I can understand that if you really got something behind it and you can really keep people like attention onto that. So by next year they'll still buy that pay-per-view. I get that, but
But
shit.
just look at
You
just
could have
look at
honestly replaced. You could have honestly replaced Miz out of the main event from last year's WrestleMania. Put The Rock in there. That would have been a great time to see it. Everyone wanted to see that shit. No one probably wouldn't have cared if you would have eliminated the Miz and just replaced Rock, and you would have already got that payoff and the buy rate.
yeah, but there's other hangups because they were pushing Miz to the moon back then too, and then they just
Yeah,
pulled
well.
the rug out from under him because The Rock came back, but they didn't.
Uh,
But they still had him in there, so they shot Miz in the foot with that one, and Miz has been shooting himself in the foot ever since.
Yeah.
but
The issue,
And when Miz isn't doing it, Del Rio.
well, the issue here though is if you look at every other icon versus icon match, even if the two guys had both been heels or both been faces all their careers, one of them takes on that heel role. One of them does. In Rock versus Hogan, Hogan came in as the heel with the NWO. Rock Hogan too. Rock was the heel. Hogan versus HBK. HBK, for all intents and purposes, was the heel. You just go throughout all the history with these kinds of matches. Oh, you've never seen this before. Someone's a heel, and like someone has to play the heel. But we're not going to have that because they don't want to make Cena a heel, and you're not going to be able to make Rock a heel.
And the demographic that would have already like just cheered. Damn it! I forgot the point I was gonna make. Oh yeah, the demographic that was gonna cheer for The Rock. If you wanted, if they wanted them to like split the audience, they're cheering for Punk. They're cheering.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
give a fuck about The Rock anymore because The Rock never showed up.
they just shouldn't have booked this a year in advance because Cena lost some of his momentum and people weren't really getting as excited for this match as they should have been. And now they've just tried to shove it down our throats way too
Yeah,
much.
Oh
And even if the
God!
match is going to be good, nobody's going to care.
And
because
that's the worst part of it. You can have this could be an amazing match. I don't know. This could fucking suck. This could be phenomenal. But if it's a phenomenal or a great match, and no one still fucking cares just because of your business or how you put it up, that's stupid. I hate it when amazing matches go unnoticed or don't get the credit just for
And,
shit like
and you
this.
know what? This this has become such a problem that at WrestleMania, I wouldn't be surprised if when this match comes around, at least 10% of the crowd left just to beat the traffic.
yeah, and honestly, with the Rock Cena thing, you knew how no matter what Cena got into this entire year, by last night he was going to be clear for WrestleMania for Rock Cena. So it left nothing to chance. There was no surprise. There was no wondering, oh, what's going to happen tonight on Raw? We know
And
what's
and
going to happen.
and not only that, what the fuck's Cena gonna do now that Kane's been defeated? Are they gonna drag this out longer too, or are we gonna get something new?
No, it's done. Ambulance match is a blow off match no matter how you slice it. No matter how tame it is, it's a blow off match. And if they
Oh,
try
you
to stretch it out
don't put
anymore,
it past WWE to stretch it, dude. They
no, no,
could do it.
if they try to, it's just one more drop the ball.
I hope they don't. I want to be right. I want to be wrong very much and say, okay, they're not going to stretch it, but it could happen. That's the sad part. I
But
like seeing to get another opponent.
that's the thing, though. The way they handled it, despite this being a blow off match, there's still so much unresolved issues here. Because even if this was the blow off match, the way it was booked, the way the feud was booked, the way Kane was going, he's not done yet. And if you say, oh, we had an ambulance match, I'm done. Cena beat me. I'll stop trying. That just ruins Kane. What about, the issues with Eve and Zack Ryder? That's not just magically resolved just because he beats Kane.
Cena
I didn't
broke
even
the
think
pro
of that.
code.
I mean,
I
come
honestly
on.
didn't. I honestly didn't even think about that story part. It's like, okay, they get rid of. Say they're done with this feud. Kane's done. No more Kane. John Cena's doing his own thing. Are they going to address that? Is it
Well,
going to be like,
they built up so much, and they can either keep going with it, which they can't really do because they got to get ready for Rock versus Cena, Or they can just hand wipe it all away. Just wipe it off the board.
I'm voting hand wipe, or if not, some type of special Raw where they blow that off. Is Raw gonna be 3 hours anytime soon?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so until a month after WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say if they have a 3 hour show coming up, that's gonna be the special match that supposedly blows this feud off. But
Well,
nah.
it's just like you built up so many possibilities here, and you're not going to address any of them. Or
And
if you do
also,
address any, or if you do address any of them, you're spoiling the thing you've been building up for a year now.
and I don't want to stretch out the more. This is more than we already have to, but it's like, God damn it! I lost my point. The hate in this match is just building up.
Embrace the hate, Magpie.
Oh God, don't
I will
remind me.
drag you to little people's court and run you off of a stage in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that was
Smell
the best.
love.
That was the
Smell
best.
it.
We'll smell the glove later. We'll smell.
Vote for Ron Paul and smell my glove. Little Glenn Jacobs non-kayfabe action there for you.
Have we even talked about this match?
No,
We
because there's nothing to
did,
talk
and we
about.
didn't. We did.
They fought in the ring. They fought outside the ring. They fought in the crowd. They broke the Spanish announce table, and they fought on the stage. They fought back down around the ring. They went back up there, and Kane got thrown into the side of the ambulance, and it drove off. Done.
And you just know that WWE is going to say that John Cena throwing Kane off the ambulance is going to be the spot of the year.
Although
That's what I was gonna remember. It's WrestleMania time. This is where you should be like putting together your best stories or your best work or trying something. WWE usually does that. Now we're getting this.
yeah, there was that spot with at the end of the match where he attitude adjusted or FU'd, whatever you want to call it, Kane off the top of the ambulance into a safety box. The fuck. And earlier in the match, there was and it was such a stupid spot because Kane was literally on his feet less than 2 minutes later and just acting groggy, and they tried to shove each other into the back of the ambulance, but it didn't really work. So then they went around to the side of the ambulance, and Cena opened the door and literally just shoved him in. That's it. Not a punch, not a fist, not a slam or anything. Just get in there, okay, and shut the door, and it drove off. But earlier in the match, right before they broke the Spanish announce table, Cena grabbed the microphone away from the ring announcer, and goes, "Hey, check this out." Slams it into the microphone into Kane's face, and turns and looks at Booker T and goes, "Does that give me a spot in the Fave 5?" That was like the only good part of the match.
Yeah.
That is it. and Booker T on commentary is like, "Yeah, you're in my Fave 5 now, buddy."
Shit. Now I just like Cena even more.
And then they broke the Spanish announce table. And also, after when he threw Kane off the top of the ambulance, he's still up there smiling triumphant like fucking Superman.
God. You know what? Here's my problem with this. It's because this was booked as the main event when, for most of the month, Cena was mid-carding with Kane.
Well, they were going back and forth, mid-card, CM Punk mid-carding and Kane mid-carding, and
Yeah.
they switched up. And it...
What was
just
the Kane versus Eve Torres match? Was that a mid card match or a main event match?
It was a main event match.
Oh,
it wasn't
right.
a match.
It's nice to see Eve got a main event. That's good.
Technically, it wasn't a match. It never happened.
Yeah.
That's the joke, dickhead. That's the joke.
And you know
Anyway.
what? Well, the last thing I do want to comment on is like after the spot where John Cena gets thrown through the Spanish announce table and Kane has him in the wheelchair trying to get him back to the ambulance. Booker T starts going I don't like it when people say John Cena sucks. John Cena does amazing things in the ring. John Cena is extremely strong and he deserves better than that. Yeah, I agree with you, Booker. Yeah, people who say Cena sucks are wrong, but you know what? Chanting stuff like the people who book Cena to win everything and not sell anything other than T-shirts suck is not as catchy.
Anyway, that's your pay-per-view. About a third of it was filler. and the main event was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And we already forgot about it. What did we just review?
Literally, you had SmackDown Chamber was the best match of the night. Raw Chamber was second best. The Divas match was third. And after that, I didn't care for the rest of this show at all. They could have easily hyped up 2 more matches to put on this show and built to them and actually given them some significant time and spared us all the fart jokes, the Johnny Ace segment, and 3 goddamn video promo things that featured John Cena. I mean,
And that fucking Nickelback song.
I'm a John Cena fan. I like the guy. I met him once. He's a great guy. He's fun. He does some impressive shit in the ring. But for the love of God, WWE, don't make me sick of this guy that's genuinely nice.
And stop playing Nickelback.
That too.
All right. Well,
Play some Creed, damn it.
we've ranted on long enough. How about we finish this up with a nice game of what gets more screen time than John Morrison? I'll start. A grizzly bear climbing into a tiny car gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Yeah.
I'll go next. Kobe Jack Cheese gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Took mine. Melissa gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Cody Rhodes having knee pads gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Who the fuck is Melissa?
There you go, Allie.
All right.
Technically, Consequences Creed got more screen time than John Morrison.
No, I want to know. We got unresolved questions. How does Zack Ryder feel? Is Eve Torres a tramp? Who the fuck is Melissa?
All right.
The fuck?
All these questions will be answered on the next Dark Match. So
Was
stay
Jericho's
tuned.
injury a work? I don't know. Melissa, tell us.
All right. That'll do it for the Dark Match this time. Remember to visit TRE Productions to see more of our shows and a bunch of other awesome crap. And
Represent.
follow us on Twitter, and you can follow us each individually on Twitter, except Magpie, who's too good for that shit.
And
I'm not too
Arrow.
good.
me
I'm
at
just
Magpie
reclusive
Free.
and not that interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just reclusive.
And
Also, please tell your friends about Dark Match. Spread the word around. We love you, fans, and thank you for taking your time to watch our show. Thank you.
And visit
Battery Utopia.
SpoonyExperiment.com.
and for everyone here,
Listen to David Bowie.
and for everyone here at Dark Match, I am your foxy friend Backlash.
Floss after every meal. Oh, we're doing the
Magpie
exit
Free.
now? Okay. Yeah, I'm Tifus, and seriously, who the fuck is Melissa?
I'm Magpie, and I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon listening to The
I'm
Cure.
in the danger zone!
And once again, I'm Magpie Free.
All right. Good night. Good luck. Play the damn music.